Hey everyone, JT Curtis here, and I just saw Pink Floyd live at Pompeii on the big screen in IMAX. So I am here at the IMAX theater about to see Pink Floyd live in Pompeii on the big screen. I've only been waiting to see it on the big screen since ever, so I will let you all know how it is. Yeah, a lot of you have been following me for a while know that Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii is one of my favorite concert films of all time, and when I found out there was going to be a new restored version in IMAX on the big screen, I got very excited. Carefully excited, I'll get to that in a second, but it was honestly an incredible experience, just to see this incredible work of art, Pink Floyd at the peak of their power on an IMAX screen. It really was quite the experience. But let me just briefly give you a quick little history of this movie. I did a full Pink Floyd album review if you want to check that out. But basically, Live in Pompeii was recorded in Pompeii, Italy in 1971 by Adrian Maben. It was originally released in 1972 just as a concert film, and then later on they filmed some behind-the-scenes footage of them at Abbey Road working on Dark Side of the Moon, and that was released as a 1974 release. Then in the early 2000s, Adrian Maben made a director's cut, which is what I've always had on DVD, which included a lot of really dated-looking CGI, and also they squeezed the aspect ratio from 4:3 to 16:9, and I really hate it when films do that. I always say, just keep the aspect ratio the way it was originally filmed. Some people messaged me and said, it doesn't include any of those dated CGI effects, does it? Well, rest assured it does not. This is basically the 1974 cut. It's the 1972 concert film with the added Dark Side of the Moon behind the scenes footage. And honestly, Sony did right by me. They went with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They just left it the way it was. And to me, honestly, that was the way to go. And the one thing they did do that I'm really happy about is they cleaned up this film and made it look spectacular. I went to go see the film with my mom and my wife. And my mom, who saw Pink Floyd back in 1970 and said it was one of the greatest concert experiences of her life, she really did say, like, man, it really did look like you were there in Pompeii with the band. A lot of you know that I play guitar in Pompeii Floyd and have been doing some other Pink Floyd projects. So I was really watching David Gilmour's hands, and I could see a lot of things in this big screen resolution that I was never able to see on the original print, like when he's using the brass slide during Echoes, or a lot of other he's using it all over the place. But that first tracking shot where there's just the slow zoom into the band, I mean, it just looked incredible, and the detail was so pleasing to see. It really does look great. I didn't catch too many things that I never noticed. I did notice in one of the B-roll shots of Pompeii, just the ruins, I saw there was a dog that was just kind of hanging around. It wasn't Mademoiselle Nobs. I've been to Pompeii before, and there are actually these wild dogs that just kind of run around a little bit, so that was kind of fun to see. Because they didn't try to fix the film or add anything new, a lot of the problems with the original film remain. There's nothing you can do about it. A lot of the dated 70s effects, like, when they split up the video and stuff like that, that's still there. A lot of people were saying in the comments, boy, I hope there's more footage of one of these days rather than just Nick Mason. Nope. And I already knew that because I'm also in cinematography. I know it was a 4-camera shoot. 3 of those cameras were on Nick Mason when they were filming that, and the other was at the console. So yeah, there wasn't going to be any newly found footage. But it's become such that idea that all you see is Nick Mason one of these days. It's become so synonymous with Pompeii. I don't know that I want to see it any other way. It's just it's fun. It's fun to just, and you really, Nick Mason really shines in watching this. It's just he's a powerhouse, and everybody. I mean, just seeing Rick do that keyboard breakdown and set the controls for the Heart of the Sun, and really being able to see a little better what it is that he's doing. Another dated, they still have that rear screen projection that the band hated. Again, nothing you can do about that. But again, it's like, I would much rather see that than see the dated CGI effects. So again, I think Sony had the right idea with this. They just said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just let's clean up the film, put it out the way it was intended. And that's the way it should be. You know, though there was something really funny. I don't go to the theater all that much anymore. So I was reminded that I had to watch 20 minutes of previews. They have a new version of The Karate Kid and all these other things that I'm never going to see. And then they had the stupid Nicole Kidman, we come to movies, whatever, that stupid thing that they always show before the film. I'm like, okay, let's get into it. And then they showed a promo for Live at Pompeii, specifically that it was going to be out on vinyl and streaming in May. But it was so weird because it's like, we're just about to watch Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii, and you're showing us a promo for Live at Pompeii. And what was hilarious is the promo stopped, and there was a QR code for people to, first they say turn off your cell phones, and then they have a QR code. But somebody went, we should go see that. And everybody laughed. It was great. I loved that. But what was also funny about the audience is the audience they were very silent for the film. You could hear a pin drop when Echoes was happening. And man, just seeing them play Echoes, it was just unbelievable, man. By the time that tracking shot during the funk jam started, I was hooked, man. I was just like, yes, this is what I paid money to see. But yeah, people were just watching. They weren't talking. They weren't, trying to take pictures or anything like that. They were just in the moment. But what did get some laughs, aside from when David Gilmour says, we're not a drug-oriented band. You can trust us. That got a laugh. But Mademoiselle Nobs, when you see the dog, everybody laughed. And as soon as Mademoiselle Nobs was over, and for those of you who don't know, it's basically Seamus with a dog who was named Mademoiselle Nobs when they filmed part of this in, was it Paris? It was somewhere in France. And the dog got an ovation. Like, nobody had applauded any of the songs by that point, but that was the first time they applauded, and then they applauded at the end. So I thought that was pretty funny. The mix, I thought the mix was pretty good. It's, at the very beginning, during the heartbeat and the synthesizers going off, they did the quadraphonic thing around the theater. And yeah, everything sounded really good. It wasn't as bad as the 2016 mix. It sounded had a little bit more warmth to it. A couple of weird things I noticed. In the very beginning of Echoes, when Dave and Rick start singing, their voices were really loud. Like, which I don't have a problem. I'll listen to Dave and Rick's voices any day. I've gushed like how many times on this channel about how amazing it is whenever they sing together. But it sounded a little strange. Like, it was like very above the mix, whereas in the original, they're kind of tucked away, like just like right in with the mix. So that was a little strange. Roger's vocal during Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun was oddly quiet in the beginning. And it's strange because in the original film, it sounds like Roger double-tracked his vocal. They had the live vocal, and then he double-tracked it, which means it's not live. There's a lot of moments where it's clearly not live. But I guess maybe they wanted to preserve the fact that it was live, so they just stuck with Roger's live vocal. And he still sounds good. this is not quite as present as it is in the original film. So that was a little strange. Um, there's the gong. I have notes here. Now, of course, when Roger hits that gong, it's like one of the coolest things in all of cinema. But the sound of the gong was a little strange. It sounded very distorted and overblown. Not the way it is in the original mix. It sounds like it's loud, but it's like still in with the music. This sounded like it was really sticking out. Same in Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun. So that was a little strange. But other than that, I think the mix is pretty good. I mean, definitely a step above the 2016 mix. I think I will always have a soft spot for the original mix that I heard from the 72 version. See, what's good about this DVD is even though it's the director's cut, they had the good sense to include the original 1972 cut in there as well. So take notes, George Lucas. I really pick on George Lucas so much on this channel. But anyway, I'm trying to think of what else I can say about it. I mean, you've heard me gush about Live at Pompeii on this channel so much. It is one of my favorite concert films of all time. There's a reason that I filmed part of Elements at that same amphitheater, which you can see on this channel, plug. And yeah, it was just an experience, man. To see it on the big screen, to see it on IMAX, to see this great resolution, to see how pasty white Roger Waters is with like his little kind of pimples here and there. I mean, it was, it's amazing to watch that and you realize, maybe it's because I've gotten older and everything, but it's like, man, they're so young at that time. They're all still in their 20s, So, I mean, again, you are seeing Pink Floyd at the height of their power. You're seeing them in the studio making Dark Side of the Moon. And watching Rick, play the piano chords to Us and Them, it's just beautiful, man. And, I could talk for hours about this film. It is one of the greatest concert films ever made. They did a really great job. I'm so glad I got to see it in IMAX. I know it's playing again here in New York on Sunday, so if you can, I definitely recommend go checking it out. I certainly would rather see Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii than whatever the latest Disney remake is, or Lilo and Stitch or whatever. I'm just so we're clear, I'm not a fan of Disney remakes. I may have said something in my Is Rock Woke video, but yeah, I'm not a fan. So I'm not a fan of a lot of new movies, to be honest. So. And it was packed in the theater. The theater was totally full. And it was great, like sitting next to a couple guys that were talking about, yeah, this one shot, they were fans, man. That's what's great about Pink Floyd fans. So, so did you see Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii in IMAX? What did you think? What was your experience? Comment below. Let me know. And I guess that's about it for now. I got a couple of JTC playlists coming up, long overdue. I also am getting ready for Summer of Prague. I've already got one album, and if you are following me on social media, you already know what it is. And yeah, that's about it. So careful with that axe, Eugene. I'm JT Curtis, and I'll see you all next time.